We are at a critical moment, with governments around the world taking action and companies canceling travel and cities calling off big public gatherings. Every hour, every day, you can feel the spread of the virus and the spread of the quarantines. The scope of this story, frankly, it's hard to get your arms around. That is a challenge for newsrooms like this one and many others. Right now, we need clear-eyed, no-nonsense news coverage during this crisis. Just consider where we are versus a week ago. This time last Sunday, there were 89 confirmed cases of coronavirus in the United States. Half of those were from the Diamond Princess cruise ship. Now, there are at least 450, according to CNN's count. This count's being updated constantly. And the truth is, no one knows the exact or full number because of testing failures. That's why these kinds of headlines are important to make clear about what's going on. Health officials are sounding alarms because they don't have enough test kits. This story says the flawed rollout of tests has snowballed into an embarrassing fiasco of national proportions. Politico's lead headline, to go to Politico.com right now, it says Trump's mismanagement helped fuel the coronavirus crisis. The Washington Post says Trump administration has squandered time and lost control. But let's just pause on this. We've seen this before. The other day, the New York Times said Trump has dealt with the coronavirus, quote, the first external crisis of his administration, by repeating a string of falsehoods. Falsehoods, yes, but this is not the first crisis of his administration. Category 5 Hurricane Maria ravaged Puerto Rico in September 2017. And the similarities between the responses are glaring. As news coverage conveyed the scope of the crisis in Puerto Rico, the government's sluggish response was being scrutinized by the press. What did Trump do? He doubled down, he defended himself, and he lashed out at others for their shortcomings. He downplayed the death toll and outright rejected the math and accused Democrats of trying to make him look bad. He said he was the best thing to ever happen to Puerto Rico. So in both cases, Maria then and the coronavirus now, we are seeing wild boosterism and bogus claims. They are abounding. We've seen bewildering photo ops showing off the government's response. We've seen people at the epicenter trying to point out failures in the response. And we've seen stories exposing how government agencies were underprepared and ill-prepared. These stories are crucial. Journalists play a key role right now in putting pressure on local and federal governments and exposing flaws in the response. Journalists are spreading word about people who believe they are infected who are not getting help. These are signs of a healthy news ecosystem. But the U.S. president, of course, perceives this as a bad thing. He says in a brand new tweet, the fake news media is doing everything in order to make the U.S. look bad, make us look bad, he says. In the tweet, Trump is still patting himself on the back for restricting travel from China, something that happened weeks ago. But we are so far past that point right now. The virus is spreading rapidly in the United States. But Trump is doing things that undermine the response. He is continuing to contradict health experts, like by saying that anybody can get a test, which is not true right now. It's not true. His behavior at the CDC on Friday spoke volumes about his mindset. He wore a campaign hat to this event. He asked about Fox's ratings. He insulted the Democratic governor of Washington State. And he brought up the Ukraine scandal. Most of the news coverage of this visit downplayed just how strange it was. And that is a problem. We've got to describe reality exactly as it actually is and not shy away from the aberrant responses that we are seeing from the commander-in-chief. That also includes his aides. Some of his aides have been out there saying this has been contained. That is a lie. Thankfully, there's been fact checks to that point. What we need to do in this moment is prioritize accurate information from experts over misinformation from politicians. You know, Trump and the news media both have a tendency to make, well, everything about Trump, right? But this virus story is only a little bit about Trump. Should he be doing things differently? Yes. For example, the CDC says older Americans should limit travel. But he's not amplifying that message. He should be right now. In fact, he can tweet about it right now. The president should lead, or else he should get out of the way. By all means, sir, please don't go out of your way to make a bad situation worse. Lead or get out of the way. Don't be an obstacle. Maybe just stay on the golf course. So, that's the story about the president. But the press should point out when he is an obstacle and then move on. Don't make it all about Trump. This story is too important for that. The health consequences are too serious. We're heading into a storm. And the mostly East Coast media needs to focus on the West Coast, on locales like Washington State, where it is already hitting hard. Let's take a look at some of the Sunday morning front pages from Washington State. This is the Sunday Herald in Everett. We'll circle through these. In Everett, saying the lack of testing is raising doubts. The Seattle Times front page is totally dedicated to the story. And the Olympian in Olympia, Washington, is quoting health experts that are saying this is a pandemic and should be declared so.